Let's see. Hello, Raziel. How you doing? Yeah, rest in peace, Kirk. Yeah, no, definitely understand. I mean, nobody agrees 100%, you know. But unless you're the left, then you must agree 100%. Or else. You know, that's just the way it is. Or else. You know, is this going to work on here or not? Come on, Rumble. All right. Well, Rumble's kind of useless when it comes to checking how well something's doing, so I got to check it on YouTube because, again, Rumble is useless when it comes to it. Dang it, come on. Stop that. Let's see. Come on, Rumble. Okay. Voice sounds good. Hello, Raziel. I think I pronounced your name right. I'm never 100% sure. Okay. I'll just go to chat for that. And then, oh, nice. Checking some of the plugins and stuff. Okay. I'm going to pull Kick's chat on over here. It shouldn't be this hard for my computer to register what it is that I'm doing. But sometimes it just is. Sometimes Microsoft just cannot get their crap together at all. Come on. Do the screen thing. There we go. Man, crazy. I have to like sit there and drag my mouse because I have like a, I'll show you an example. If I want to make this, like this is how I do it on my other screen is, okay. See, there we go. Now it's starting to work. Nope, it's not wanting to work. It's not wanting to do it at all. It's just amazing. Okay, there we go. Now I can do this and be like that, you know, have one here. And then let's say I want to have a secondary screen, you know, and then have it right there. Okay, now it's starting. Nope, there we go. Doing this matter. So then I have a screen here. I got a screen over there. I could scroll through this one. I could scroll through this one. See what I'm saying? Sometimes Windows 11 is just like, oh, you wanted to do that? No. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Cool, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Let's see. Tally Hall album. Oh yeah, did I ever get a notification from Grok? Really? Thank you, Grok. You know what? I got an idea. I have an idea as to how I can fix that up. Let's do this. Is this real? Let's see. Hypothetically, scenario. Based on the information from the image, it seems to be genuine capture of X post, but I cannot verify the authenticity of the account events. Okay. You know if this account posted this on X before the account was terminated. Because this is going around. So, you mean what time of the threat that's on here? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Based on the details from the screenshot shared post from Tally Hall album dated September 3rd, 2025 and earlier, I conducted a thorough search across X platform using advanced keyword and semantic queries tailored to the exact phrase. Yeah, we get that. No trace of the account or post on X searches the username. Okay. I do not believe this account posted this contact on X before any termination. The complete absence of the account post screenshot is either AI generated or photoshopped. Okay, could be. Definitely could be. I'm not. This guy's name was Mushy at Tally Hall album. Now, this guy said it'd be funny if somebody like Charlie Kirk got ended. Let me get rid of my camera here. Ended on September 10th, LMAO. And then he retweeted it saying, did I? You know, like he was shocked by it. And then he said, Donald Trump, December 14th. So I'm wanting to see if this is real. because it was posted apparently September 13th, but his account right now is gone. I've got to turn the AC down, like, right now. Oh, my God. Hold on. Okay. How is it so freaking hot in here? Whew. That is unreal. It is unreal hot in here. Woo, way too hot, to be honest. Oh. Jesus. Hold on, guys. I'm pulling my hair back. Wait a second. Ugh. No freaking way is this a long hair day. Ah. Not a chance. Okay. Harris, I told you Destiny was a POS. Guess it took him admitting to having CSAM on his PC and such for people to agree. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Even still, he denies that he even has it, kind of. It's weird. All his fans deny that he has it. Destiny just remains quiet on the subject. But all of his fans are like, he does not. That's a lie. It's unbelievable to see them absolutely no lie about everything, you know. But anyway, let's see. So, Hasan Piker. Sorry, guys, getting over COVID. Anyway, went on ABC to do some damage control. He's going to get Burma banned very, very soon. He will. Now, how it's going to happen? Not 100% sure yet. Either Dan Clancy's going to come to his senses and just ban him, or Dan Clancy's going to get removed from Twitch, and then Hasan will follow. My concern is that Hasan has been planning this for a while, and I think this is an inside job with mainstream media, in my personal opinion. What I think is going on is I think Hasan is trying to get Twitch to tank. Get enough on there, cause another adpocalypse that leaks over into YouTube. Sorry, guys. And then from there, it's going to be Adpocalypse 2.0 like we've never seen before. It's going to be much worse. And then he's going to go run and flee to mainstream media. That's why he's going on so much mainstream media. Oh my God, I am going to cough nonstop in a second. This is crazy. At the final stages here, I'll feel so much better tomorrow. I already know that. But anyway, let's watch it and see. Actually, let's watch this real quick. Let's kind of react to what he's saying here.
Of Donald Trump will take place in Arizona this weekend. The U.S. president and vice president are expected online as attendees at
Today's
news. So what you're streaming when Charlie Kirk was killed. Can you describe that, and also what your immediate thoughts were about what the consequences would be?
I was live streaming, covering the day's news as I do every day. And at first I didn't believe it. And then we immediately started scouring the internet to find if there was any footage from the incident, because I knew that there would be people filming. And we found some. And then there was, complete confirmation after I saw a close-up incident shot. Oh my God, I can't believe I just saw that. Oh my God. And obviously I was horrified. And, watching that unfold to someone that you were supposed to sit next to publicly in a public setting, only in a...
You know, I hate these crocodile tears so much. I hate how much he's faking it. He's like, oh, I can't believe I saw that. Oh no, I've been calling for the death of Charlie Kirk for a while now. And oh no, it's been so long. In 2021, I said somebody needs to take care of Charlie Kirk. And, talking about how awful that was, Let me see. It was August 2021. It's probably just a very popular date to be looking up now. Like, let's see. Latest. Let's see here. I bet I just find Hasan pretty quick. Okay, well, Hasan Piker. Here are some quotes attributed to Hasan Piker, accused of inciting violence from drone source. So here it is. August 17, 2021, Twitch stream on capitalism. Murder those mother effers in the street. It was the same stream that he did this too. I didn't know that. Let the streets soak in their effing red capitalist blood, dude. Context discussing landlords and all. And then, oh, what the heck? Where's the other one? August 17, 2021, criticizing American culture and Charlie Kirk. He described it as a dumpster file and called Kirk a scumbag, saying someone needs to take care of him. meaning politically counter his views. Oh, that's what he means. Someone needs to politically counter Charlie Kirk's views. Good job running a defense there, Grok. Grok has become so left-wing over the past few days that literally there was a guy arrested yesterday for planning to end people in a school, got arrested, and the judge let him out on like a $1,500 bond or something like that, or $2,500 bond. I'll cover that story here soon, here in a few. And what ended up happening, for the most part, is Grok, I'm looking everywhere for all these sources. I look at every single mainstream outlet, and they're just like, yeah, he was just released. He was caught. He was released. So I type in Grok, why did this guy do this? What was his motivation? And it immediately says, well, it was a bunch of white nationalist stuff that he was involved in. He was involved in white nationalist groups. And I'm like, okay. I understand whenever they said the left-wing stuff about the guy who got Kirk, because first of all, it's a political, it's political. They ended a political guy. So that's one thing. Schools, not political. You know what I mean? They're kids. Very much not political. Second of all, the actual government was releasing the information that he was part of a left-wing source, or part of a left-wing group. That came directly, the source from the government. Okay. That's not a lot of information, but at least it came from somewhere. Grok made this up. And I could not find a single news source to say that he was a white supremacist. And it's like, where are you getting this from? Not even the government saying that. Nobody's saying this. So it was very, very bizarre to see Grok just instantly screwing that up. I'll pull him up so we can get to that here. $2,500 bail. Okay. Anyway, we'll continue with Hasan here. But yeah, I'll get to that. I'll just move this over here. So we'll continue with that. But it was just amazing to see Grok completely make things up like that. And I was trying to tell Grok too, I'm like, you are incredibly biased. Where are you getting these sources? And it would just start linking ABC, NBC, all these other places. But when you clicked them, they never mentioned it. And it's like, okay, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Grok is completely and totally compromised, and Elon doesn't care. And you should see that Elon absolutely does not care. So, Elon Musk, he's never been a player that was pro-MAGA. He's never been pro-America. And I've been saying that pretty much from the beginning. Now, I wanted to always give Elon his chance. And then he blew it badly a few months ago with Trump. He majorly blew it. When he started going against Trump's bill to cut all that funding, Trump ended up cutting $1.4 billion when Doge only cut 1.4, not 1.4 million. It was $140 million. So 10% less. Elon did 10% of what Trump did. And that's just ridiculous. That should never happen, you know? So the big bot got pulled down. Something like that. Wait. Yeah, I don't know.
Couple
it's
weeks.
Odd. But let's watch.
It made it even more real. Someone that I knew, someone that I
say you
was
respected.
Not
Go
exactly
ahead.
friends with, but a counterpart on the ideologically opposite side.
That is a hell of a way to say enemy. That is a hell of a way to say enemy. Just psychotic. Listen
I
to
want
this.
to ask you about your own rhetoric. I noticed that Elon Musk...
Okay, let's get to when she says that part.
As you're watching that, you've got a lot of people live commenting. How do you manage what they say?
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't.
We are very desensitized to violence, I think, in general. So there are always going to be people that especially under the guise of anonymity online, people to just say things without really thinking about it, being careless.
I have the ability. I have certain words that are banned on YouTube. Of course, I have like 3 of them banned. If you say the word, your comment just won't go. It's completely protected, automated. It's been there forever. They do the same on Twitch. They do the same on Kick. You can ban certain words. People can get around the words using different characters, but there are certain words that are banned. And every time someone uses one of those words to kind of get around it, I add that iteration in so they can't say it. I do that. Hasan Piker can't go and do that? Really? That's kind of crazy. Because it doesn't matter if you have millions of people watching or not. Yet they can't get past it if you put the word in there and it's permanently there. That's all you got to do. You only have to ban a certain select amount of words. You could ban literally the word kill or killing. You could just ban that word in chat. Wouldn't be that hard. You know, things like that, murder, other things like that, you could do. But he actually doesn't even go that. He won't even try to do that. He doesn't moderate whatsoever because he wants people to frenzy. Like a bunch of piranhas. They smell blood in the water. They all start freaking out and going crazy. They use all the words they can. He doesn't want to stop that momentum. That's Hasan's problem. He doesn't want that momentum to stop. Neither does Twitch. Twitch doesn't want that momentum to stop. He could actually moderate. He could hire some moderators. He's a mega multimillionaire. He could literally pay people $50,000, $60,000 a year to just pay attention to his chat. He could do that and not even feel anything out of it. As a matter of fact, could even be a write-off for him. He could do something like that.
And I wanted to stamp that out immediately. First, because I feel like it reflects poorly on them. It reflects poorly on everyone involved. But also because I think that instantly I knew that this was going to be something that the administration will use against those that they've declared political dissidents. And unfortunately, my fears were realized shortly after when Donald Trump came out, only a couple hours after announcing Charlie Kirk's untimely demise, and make a statement about how they were basically going to start prosecuting and persecuting political dissidents, the left, as he said.
That is not what he said at all. That's not even close to a quote. That's not even remotely accurate. What is happening is he is going to punish people who violated the law. It's very simple. Incitement of violence is against the law. I don't understand why this is so hard for people to wrap this around their head. You cannot incite somebody to harm somebody else. You cannot encourage violence. It's illegal.
Since then, we've had J.D. Vance, other senior figures in the administration say that they're going to go after what they call terror networks, who they say are behind this. What are you expecting, or what do you fear from them?
I don't know. I don't know what that political prosecution is going to look like, considering that we have a First Amendment.
You can actually call for the death of people under the First Amendment. Are you insane? That is not protected by the First Amendment, you psychopath.
In the American Constitution that actually makes the government attempts at doing things like that wholly unconstitutional. So
what is unconstitutional about punishing people that are committing terrorism? That's what Hasan just said. Listen to her question.
What are you expecting, or what do you... We've had J.D. Vance, other senior figures in the administration say that they're going to go after what they call terror networks, who they say are behind this. What are you expecting, or what do you fear from...
So she's saying they're going to go after terrorists, and his response, instead of saying something like, well, I don't know if he just goes after the terrorists, that'll be fine. But I think he's going to cross over the line of what, terrorism is to free speech. To the people who were saying, oh, well, we don't like these people, but we didn't incite violence or anything. We just disagreed with them. He could have said something like that, but he didn't. Listen to how he says. When she says, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are going to go after terrorists, what do you think about that?
From them.
I don't know. I don't know what that political prosecution is going to look like, considering that we have a First Amendment.
So he's saying that terrorists have a First Amendment right. No. Fun fact. If you commit a felony, you actually lose your rights. Did you know that? Did you know that, Hasan? If you're a felon, you actually don't have rights anymore.
In the American Constitution that actually makes the government attempts at doing things like that wholly unconstitutional.
Like that? Like the thing she said? Like she said terrorism? That's crazy. That's crazy. Yep. So the government, the First Amendment stops the government from going after terrorists?
constitutional. So I don't know. It's not like this administration is shy about eroding constitutional protections or going after people's civil liberties. So
Name one. Name one.
who knows where they might take it?
They never do name one. See, every single time I ever bring up an incident whatsoever, like a great example, whenever I'm like, yeah, Joe Biden, he would violate the Constitution. A good example is he created a vax mandate that literally got people fired from their jobs. It's called an example. Literally, when he came out and said, hey, the people that I like get to keep working. The people I don't like, my political opponents, we're going to prosecute them. Another one would be literally coming out and saying, MAGA and Donald Trump are the greatest threat to this country. That's literally, quite literally, an incitement to violence. That's a disgusting thing to say, and it's literally saying that we are a threat to everybody else in this country. That's a wild, wild claim. That's a wild and violent claim to make. And yet, Hasan cannot give an example. It's crazy how that works, isn't it?
I just hope that the broad American appetite for anger and vengeance will be soothed by how fast they get distracted elsewhere.
Charlie Kirk's language included offensive statements about Muslims, about black and brown people, about immigrants, about transgender people. But since his death, he's been praised for his openness to debate. What do you think about that praise from people like Ezra Klein from the New York Times, who said he was doing politics the right way?
I think it's dishonest.
That's insane. That's insane. You think it's dishonest? You think it's dishonest that, Charlie Kirk was just going out there and freely speaking? What else was Charlie Kirk doing?
Simply put. And it's not necessarily because Charlie Kirk wasn't open to platforming people which he disagreed with. I myself am one of those people. So technically it's not incorrect to say that he is willing to debate people. But to state that he was doing politics the right way
what was the right way? Violence?
Without actually reflecting on his political output, I think is dishonest.
Okay. So he wasn't doing it the right way because you disagreed with his views. So they have to. You don't understand what the guy was saying. That's your problem, Hasan. Doing politics the right way. It doesn't matter what ideology you are. You could have the most horrendous ideology on the planet. Doing politics the right way is having open dialogue and talking with people peacefully. It doesn't matter if you are actually the bad guy from World War II or if you're Gandhi. The right way to do politics is peacefully with open dialogue. But Hasan was like, it's dishonest because he had really bad political views that I disagreed with. That's what Hasan took from that. This is why Hasan is the biggest idiot on the internet. And whoever follows Hasan is equally just as stupid, if not more stupid.
The medium itself obviously was utilized for cutting propaganda for the Trump administration. But also, what I found to be distasteful was the lack of...
Hasan openly has said multiple times that he's a propagandist. So if he has a problem with propaganda, what is he?
Quotes, or the lack of recognition for Charlie Kirk's ideology. It makes it seem as though the New York Times is outright endorsing.
He's not endorsing anything about Charlie Kirk's politics. He said he was doing politics right, which he was. He was spreading a political message peacefully. It does not matter what the message was, Hasan. You misunderstood what the New York Times said, and that's on you.
Charlie Kirk's opinions and ideology by omitting it, because it leaves the readers who may not be aware of Charlie Kirk's worldview with a totally different outlook on Charlie Kirk's political advocacy. One that the New York Times is either subscribed to, or one that liberals, prominent liberals like Ezra Klein, seemingly don't care enough about to even mention.
It wasn't about that.
For you, that those extreme statements didn't make you want to stop doing public debates with him?
I think it's not a matter of what things people say, but more so from my perspective, at least. And everyone has a different attitude about platforming. But from my perspective, it's more so a matter of how much political influence this person wields. So for Charlie Kirk, I mean, he was the regime's guy. He had a lot of influence, both over the Trump administration.
Notice how he calls him the regime. Man, he so supports Charlie Kirk actually being ended. It's all over every single word he says. Because he doesn't pay attention to what the questions are. He just puts Charlie Kirk down because he disagrees with him. He's not thinking about what was actually being said. He's thinking about what he didn't like.
And a lot of influence over a lot of young conservatives in this country that were a part of his massive advocacy network, Turning Point USA. So in that regard, it's not necessarily debating someone whose ideas are beyond the pale, but instead it's more so about trying to stop the bleeding in terms of like letting these kinds of dangerous ideas spread without any sort of contention, without any sort of pushback whatsoever.
That's why he was doing politics right, Hasan, because people could come up to the microphone and push back. How do you not understand this? See, this is why he's literally like 10 IQ. Literally. This guy is so stupid.
Once a person gets to a level of notoriety and a level of legitimacy, it's impossible to avoid them. I think closing your eyes and plugging your ears and just hoping they go away simply is not going to work. So at that point, I think it's
going to take a 30-06.
It's valid no matter how strange or horrifying or dehumanizing their rhetoric might be.
I want to ask you about your own rhetoric. I noticed that Elon Musk has been posting about you.
Yes.
And I don't know the context of these particular statements, but here's a quote from you about land.
You could have gotten the context first before you did this interview. You had like, this is your big day. This is your big job. This is the only thing you had to do today. Come on.
Landlords who don't want to rent out their properties, you said, kill them, murder them, let the streets soak in their red capitalist blood.
Why didn't you put the F words in there? You should have fully quoted it. The effing capitalists.
Doesn't that make you part of the problem with violent discourse?
This was in a conversation that I was having with a landlord friend of mine, and it's, of course, hyperbolic, and it's not meant to be sincere.
Well, I don't believe it, so let's see.
Has been posting about you.
Yes.
And I don't know the context of these particular rent out streets make you part of the problem.
Conversation that I was having mine, and it's, of course, hyperbolic.
Is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all?
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
And it's not meant to be sincere. This is not sincere advocacy. It's not a real policy that I would ever advocate for. And that's precisely the reason why when Republicans were desperately looking for any sort of incisive language that they could present, they went back to a very obvious instance of LARPing. If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid
This wasn't that long ago, right here. I think this was a year ago.
fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. An insincere statement. You brought Milo Yiannopoulos back, and it's like,
now this is very recent. He's got all his stuff in the background. All of that's still there. This is, I want to know what the date is on this, because this is very, very recent.
Both of those guys are fucking pedophile Nazis. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for...
Well, that's definitely after October 7th, 2024. Hasn't even been a year since that happened. We're still a month before that. This is at least 11 months ago. Sooner than that. So, there you go.
I mean, even this much. That is obviously hyperbolic from, I believe, 2018.
My question stands nonetheless. Doesn't that kind of language contribute to the atmosphere of violent, even lethal violence in the United States?
I don't believe that.
That just happened like 2 months ago when he threatened somebody with that. Crazy, right? He never goes to violence. They had to go all the way back to 2018.
My insincere statements that don't reflect on any of my beliefs whatsoever.
Whenever he sent this to Tom Cotton, crazy, right? How he told people how to make a literal, told them how to do this. Now, this is a stupid thing to suggest to people, because what's going to end up happening is these people are not going to be, I'm not even going to say, because I don't want leftists to figure it out, but I guarantee you, they make this, they pull the trigger on that, nothing's coming out of the end of this. They're going to blow themselves up. And I know exactly how they're going to do it, especially when they have the pellets. Because you guys know what'll happen to these. And I know what'll happen to these. The really stupid left-wing people, they don't know what's going to happen to these when you pull that. Because they're not going to understand what they're doing. That's the best part about it.
In 2019 has led to any sort of real-world violence whatsoever.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on
That's
stage.
a little loud for
What
y'all,
the
huh?
fuck is this shit, man?
There we go.
Slice them up. Slice them and fucking dice them. What the fuck is this?
Yeah. It's kind of wild. Kind of wild to see this, so let's
Not
finish this
sincere
out.
Advocacy. It's not a real policy that I would ever advocate for. And that's precisely the reason why when Republicans were desperately looking for any sort of incisive language that they could present, they went back to a very obvious instance of LARPing, an insincere statement.
And lethal violence in the United States.
I don't believe that my insincere statements that don't reflect on any of my beliefs whatsoever in 2019 has led to any sort of real world.
Your insincere statements, really? So, you just made insincere statements at that moment. Every single day, you just make insincere statements whenever you threaten somebody. That's crazy.
Violence whatsoever.
Hasan Piker, thank you very much indeed.
And it doesn't matter about your beliefs. What matters is what the actual people who pulled the trigger believe at that point. Because you shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. What you did was incitement. You could sit there and say, oh, I didn't intend for that at all. Tough. Tough. You did incite. Didn't sound like you were, in any way, shape, or form, joking around. Ooh, man. This is rough. Oh, this is rough. COVID sucks. Thank you for sharing. Clearly joking. It's amazing that you can't even joke anymore. How is that clear? That's crazy. One can be hyperbolic and performative while clearly not being serious. It's not clear, though. It's not clear at all. These Hasan Piker, like, absolute
I want to ask
maniacs.
you about your own rhetoric. I noticed.
They're out of their mind. Absolutely out of their mind. But anyway, guaranteed. Because let me ask Rock here. I want to know, when does Dan Clancy... Okay, how do I spell his last name? Oh, it is that. It wanted it capitalized. That's dumb. When does Dan Clancy, fly? Let's see where we're at. Oh God, it's going to be October 8th? That's so long from now. Wow. Online users. Is scheduled for that date. The invitation was announced September 17th. Okay. Well, okay. So we have about 3 weeks. And the CEOs of Discord and Valve and Reddit will also be there. Wasn't it XQC that made that stupid comment, though? He literally ended up coming out and saying that he thinks Reddit and Discord need to be investigated, but not Twitch and Valve. Now, as for Valve, I don't think they necessarily need it. I haven't seen anything from Valve. Maybe I'm wrong. So if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me. But I have not seen anything whatsoever on Steam that has been politically charged one way or the other. Users probably uploaded stuff, but I've never seen Steam take a stance, which is a good thing. All that being said, Dan Clancy here absolutely should be investigated. He's number one. Number two is Reddit. 3 is Discord. Discord should still be investigated, but Discord itself is very, very hard. I can imagine. I don't know how they managed to police anything, to be honest. That's got to be pretty difficult from their end. Honestly, I would think it is anyway. Let me see here. Let's see. Anything other than one of them? Okay. Let's see here. Now, what? Wait, what is this? Who is this? That's weird. Hold on. Okay. That's weird. I don't know who that is. Strange. Anyway, no big deal. So let's get on to our next thing here. There is Kristen Stone, a district judge in Massachusetts, just released Ian Fotheringham. What a weird name. A man charged with threatening to carry out a school incident on a $2,500 bail. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna. I might as well just pull this up. School. Okay. Teen accused of threatening in Massachusetts freed on $2,500 bail. I'm going to read this here in a second. I have got to go blow my nose before I absolutely lose my mind. So 1 second, guys. Just got to make a quick bathroom trip. Ooh, sorry about. Oh, gotta get my. He's a good boy. Oh, you got your bone. You got your bone. You. Aw. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Had to go get that. Had to definitely go. Oh, take care of that. My nose was running like a fountain yesterday. Much better today, and then it just started acting up out of nowhere. So, good stuff. Anyway, so let's see. I like how they call him a teen. At that point, just don't even treat him like a teen when he's 18 and threatening to do some terrible things to their school. Okay, he's required GPS monitoring. That's great. A group of the mothers of Falmouth students were in court Tuesday, hoping the Cape and Islands District Attorney's Office would be able to convince a judge to keep him held without bail. He was arrested September 11th and was charged with threatening to use a deadly weapon in a public building. That's crazy. That was the same day that the other incident was going on. Oh, God, what incident was it? It wasn't the Colorado one, because the Colorado one took place on Charlie Kirk. There was the false call that took place in the, not in the same area. I guess Massachusetts is south, but up in Maine, over at that naval base. So there was that. But there's another one going on that day as well, I thought. But anyway, the judge ruled that he doesn't fall under the dangerous statute. Oh, okay. He doesn't fall under the dangerousness statute in Massachusetts. Are you insane? Wow. Okay, accused of plotting it. All right, here, let's see. Last month, according to documents, mental health counselors told investigators that Fotheringham indicated that he wanted to blank a school and claimed he was refurbishing firearms in his room. Okay, so they found his room, searched the room, and found no illegal weapons. So is he just, like, psychotic? On September 3rd, safety monitors told police they saw Fotheringham in the woods behind T-Ticket Elementary School in Falmouth and were worried he was casing the building. Condon, what a heck of a name there, refuted that and said that description of the person involved did not match him. Something's weird. Guys, something's really weird about this guy. Police got a search warrant for his entire home, and they found photos and a journal referencing the Columbine stuff and a large 3D printer capable of making it. Okay. Okay. That doesn't mean much. Or doesn't mean he is making it. In October 2024, wow, he has had a rap sheet for a while. Okay. Student parents outraged. He turned around and laughed when he got his decision. He doesn't care. He's not afraid of what's going to happen. We're afraid because those are our kids, those are our babies, and we can't go to school with them every day. So, I don't know what, if I were the parents, I would just say, I would demand the school actually hire some guards. That's what I would demand. I would be like, look, every one of us, we're not paying our taxes for the school, and we're pulling all our kids out. We'll school them ourselves until you guys decide to go ahead and get us a security team. That's what I would do if I were them. It would not be hard for the parents to band together on this one. I really think it would be pretty simple because the parents, they got a lot of power in this situation. A whole lot of power. Let me go ahead and, let's see. Can I open that up? There we go. I'll do that. Whoops. There we go. Much better. Okay. So, there we go. Why was he released? So, here we go. This is the whole thing. Now, this is what's crazy, right? White. Wow, it doesn't show up. National list. Also does not show up. Never mentions it. This was updated September 17, 2025. They have a rap sheet on him and everything. So, you go here, go to Grok, and you go, what political leanings was the school? Let's see. What's this? Just crazy. An 18-year-old from Falmouth, Massachusetts was arrested on September 11, 2025 and threatening was doing all this stuff, okay? Now, white supremacy is a well-documented far-right ideology. Look at all this. Look at all this stuff. Look at this stuff. Okay? According to court documents and police reports, Fotheringham indicated during a mental health inpatient program at Cape Cod Hospital in August 2025 that he was a member of a white supremacy group. And he wanted to shave his head and get a trench coat. First of all, he's had every single opportunity to do that. But second of all, like when? Look at this. Let's see. Political. Let's see here. Cape Cod rocked after judge releases. Okay, so Daily Mail, they usually update everything, right? Daily Mail. Let's just type in white. Okay, here we go. Here's some white too. It's going to the White House down here. Okay, thank you. Thank you for going backwards for some reason. White. Okay. White House. Figure in white striped blouse. White. Okay. Nothing here. That's wild. No mention of this whatsoever. Absolutely none. This kid looks like he would definitely be a white supreme, huh? Looks like he doesn't know what gender he is. That's what it looks like to me. And Fotheringham. Okay, here's some court stuff, right? Shooting threatened county. Here's what happened. Okay, Cape Cod Times. This is apparently one of the places. But let's see. Okay, come on. Any day you would like to search this would be great. It's not opening up the search at all. That's so frustrating. Okay. Apparently not allowed to search here. Let's see. Spotted predatory fence. Okay. Threatening the use of a deadly weapon. Let's see. Can I search? There we go. Now it's popping up. White. Remember? Okay, here we go. So here's something. On August 28, 2025, Falmouth police received information during, let's see, program, inpatient mental health at Cape Cod. Now, this is what's strange. They say police received information from them at Cape Cod Hospital in Hyannis. So here's the problem that I have with this reporting. Why in the world would they go ahead and violate their patient? Like, why would they go ahead and violate HIPAA to tell them this? That's not legal. It's interesting that they got it somehow from the hospital. That the hospital just dropped on them. Hey, by the way, guys, we're going to violate HIPAA and just tell you that he's a part of a white supremacy group. Which one? This is it? So we have the Cape Cod Times apparently saying this. And this is it. This is all that they mention. With absolutely nothing else about it. Now let's click this link. Okay. All right. Okay. So there's this. I wonder if I could call that number. I could probably call that number and see. I don't know. What do you guys think? Hello, Lucids. Call the number and see if they'll tell me anything. So, what do you guys think? Come on. There we go. Okay. Phone never wants to get to 100%. It goes to 99, then has trouble. I know I shouldn't get it to 100%, but I want it to. Because it's a garbage phone. So there is that. I may consider calling them. I don't know. But that's all that's ever mentioned. They put that in there. And apparently, they think that's okay. Let's see this one. New Belford. Okay, I don't know what that's supposed to do. No mention of white supremacy there. Okay. How about Conan Daily? Let's see. This one mentions it. It says on August 28th, it's just copy-paste. He allegedly indicated that he wanted to do this. Okay. Just copy-pasted. It's the same article from there. Law and crime. Okay. How about on law and crime? Let's see. Court documents obtained by CBS affiliate. Okay. CBS, where is this? All right. Did it just take me back? Did it? Let's see. That he was part of a white supremacy group. Okay. Where? CBS. What documents? I want to know the documents. According to court documents. Okay, well, let's just look. I'm genuinely curious now. I really want to see. Court. I want to see. If it ever loads. Why is this struggling? There we go. It's still struggling. Holy cow. There we go. Family records, look up court okay. Court records, there we go. Oh, this is going to be a scam. Yeah, it's one of those scam sites. Okay. Another court, Cape Cod Times. Okay, how do I get these court documents? I want to know. I want to see them. Let's see. Cape Cod. Okay, you know what? I know an easier way. I'm just going to go straight up to X, and we'll see it that way, maybe. court. Let's see. He attended and per court document. Okay, so there's just nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's wild. So they're just like, according to court documents, apparently something was said about this, but just no evidence at all. I really genuinely think that this guy's part of the same Antifa group. I genuinely do at this point. Same day that everything was going on. No idea. Can't find any information on it. They go ahead and just let him out. Very, very leftist judge in a very left-wing city in a very left-wing state. Huh. Yep, I believe that. They're like, oh, he's a white supreme? Okay, well, let's let him out. He'll be fine. He's no threat. Why would the left ever say that about the right, huh? I guess that ended quickly. I guess the left really doesn't think that the right wing's a threat at all. I guess that's just the case. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? So, anyway, just something to stick a note in, something to definitely comment on. I don't understand what's going on here, why he was released for $2,500, why he's, mocking everybody and laughing that he got away with it and nothing's happening whatsoever. It's just a little strange to me. I find it to be weird. But tell me what you guys think. Anyway, President Trump. Here we go. Let's get more updated with this. Trump, Memphis. Let's see if any more updates have come up, really. No, it's just more of a placeholder. Memphis residents want Trump's help. Okay, here we go. This guy, I bet this guy,
help.
This guy looks like he would be just so against Trump, right? Right?
We need help. If it can save one life, I'm happy with it.
People could be concerned that it's not normal to see, militarized people out in the street.
No, it's not. It's not normal, but I mean, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
That is not the voice I thought was going to come out. Oh my God.
They have to do what they can to kind of take back control of the city.
We need help.
Wait a minute. Am I crazy? Hold on.
People could be concerned.
Hold on. No. Well, am I being mean here? Why is this the same person? What? Okay. Am I crazy? Okay, this guy's got a way more pronounced nose. But am I insane? Is this the same person? I'm actually really surprised by this. Look at this. He's, the big skin tag's right there below the eye. It's a little weird. Did they dress him up? The voice is the same.
If it can save one life.
Normal to see, out in the street.
No, it's not. It's not normal, but
If it can save one life.
The teeth are different completely. Okay, there's that. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was going to lose my mind because I'm like, what is the chances? Because, you just see, that similar pattern of skin tags just right there in that area. You don't see them here. You don't see them very much up here. You see it right on the left side underneath the eye. Now, this goes a little further back. But, makeup could have covered that up, but I don't know. It's just a little ironic. And on the right side, there just aren't very many, it looks like. That blew my mind. I was like, no freaking way. This is the same dude. They dressed him
People
up.
out in the street.
no, it's not. It's not normal, but I mean, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. They have to do what they can to kind of take back control of the city.
That's just crazy. That's hilarious, though. Okay. I had my fun with that. I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't trying to, be mean or anything like that. But, oh my God, that was pretty funny. That was pretty stinking funny to me. Anyway, let's go to the latest. Let's see here. Trump sends troops to Memphis. Let's see. That, I think, is just not quite accurate there. I think they're late. All of us are late on reporting. Mainly because all the Charlie Kirk stuff going on. As Donald Trump sends the National Guard to Memphis, this video has gone viral with claims it shows residents stealing tanks. That is actually really funny. It's showing a music video filmed. Why are people saying that? Nobody has even come close to taking a tank. That's never going to happen. If they found themselves in a tank, it would be the worst day of their lives because that thing would become their grave. It would become a gigantic metal grave. Not a smart thing to steal somebody's tank, especially since tanks are pretty easy to stop with other tanks. They just box it in, and then they would just wait. And once that hatch opens up, they're going to be lucky to come out of there alive. Anyway, so let's see. Remember, though, like, let's see. Trump never red state. I actually want to look at this because we know he's going there. Let's see here. Let's not do latest. I want to see some of these. I wonder why many women have suffered past few days with their... Say Trump's okay from... Okay, that's dumb. Another poll quote. In a red state, not clearly. Okay, that's talking about Charlie Kirk. Top 10 states with the highest crime rates and murder rates. 8 are deep red states. Trump's crackdown on crime has never been about real crime. It's his short, long-term strategy for squashing dissent and set up to declare martial law. Okay. Why is Trump flooding blue states with the National Guard? It's not about crime. It's a dangerous distraction. What an absolute joke. You know? So, wanna apologize. I mean, that's just crazy. You know, I wonder what all these posts are here. You know, spectacle over substance, deploying troops where they're not needed while actual cries go unaddressed. Yeah, it's just crazy. Just crazy, isn't it? You know? You're an absolute fool to stand against reducing violence. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that for sure. But let's see what the people say here. You're the only fools. A police state is a good thing now, actually. It's not a police state. It's getting rid of criminals. It's going in there, they're removing the criminals, and then they go back to doing their military stuff. It's kind of wild, right? Let's see. You want a fascist dictatorship, da-da-da-da, our president. Okay, so they're not even talking about the red states here anymore. They're off that topic. Democrats like Newscom were saying that Trump did not want to go into red states. Well, Trump's going into a red state. I mean, that was just like, what did he announce it on the 12th? So he announced it on the 12th. Hey, you cannot be up here. You cannot be up here. Come on. You know your nails, scratch all that up. That's what I need him to do is just dig his nails right on into this sucker. You know, rip up all the pads on it. And then I got my keyboard up here too. So, you know. I know you want to go play. I know you do. I'll take you out back in a few. We'll play. You want to... Here, I'll throw the phone. Give me that. Sit. Go get it. So good boy. You know, it's not like playing outside. I know, buddy. I hope it closes down and never reopen. Red states deserve to suffer. They voted for Trump. Oh, wow. That's such a nice... These people are so tolerant, you know. Let's see. So that's after the 12th. Anything after the 12th. Trump will never be the leader needed in time of crisis. He only knows to blame. He had an opportunity to bring the nation together and failed again. I guess it's time to ask him, why don't you send the military into red states? How ironic. To apologize. There we go. That's hilarious, though. Trump issued statement after I think this guy also said something like that. Let me see. Red state. Let's see what his latest comments on there were. Let's see. Nope, it wasn't him. Okay, unless he deleted his statements about it. I thought it was the Krasensteins. I swear I saw the Krasensteins say something along the lines of this, like, you know, insulting like red states, how Trump would never, ever, ever, ever go into red states. But then, of course, he announces that he's going into a red state. It's just crazy. It's like they think that crime only happens in blue states. We never said that. It's just the highest ones are in blue cities. But they want to take that out of context. We never mentioned blue states. We mentioned blue cities. Because even in blue states like California, guess what? Outside of the cities, very much, not that much of high crime at all. Very little crime outside of there. It's because, you know, you got tight-knit communities. It's a lot more difficult to commit crimes in smaller communities because the people there won't let it happen. But in a big city, it's a lot more difficult to control. And it used to be controlled decently well back in the 90s, in the early 2000s. And then they gave up that control. They decided they didn't want to have that control. So I just thought it was really, really funny. Oh, Mike has entered the world of Warcraft. Every time I get ready to go play World of Warcraft with him, we end up jumping into PUBG. Just because PUBG's, you know, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Anyway, that's really all I have to say about that. But let's get into some Destiny. Why not? Let's just actually... Oh, wait, what's this guy? Oh, yeah, that's right. I was talking about how they're going to go into Colorado next, probably. We'll see. They're giving warnings out. I'm sure they're going to give fair warnings to everybody, though. Let's just see. Let's just check in with Destiny. I think it's a good time to do that. Let's see. LOL, George Floyd. Okay, here we go. George Floyd... Oh, my God. He just ignores it. George Floyd passed away from an overdose. Put a pregnant woman at risk, you know, put a gun in her belly. Robbed her. 41%, I don't even know what he's referencing there. Melissa Hortman, the one that was assassinated by the left-wing Vance Bolter, who was appointed by Tim Walz, and who Vance Bolter said made him literally end her. There's that. Paul Pelosi, the guy who literally got bludgeoned by an illegal immigrant leftist from Canada. Okay. What's your point, Destiny? Protester shot in PA? I don't know what he's referencing there. And then, okay, putting his head over there. Alligator Albatross. LOL, the illegal immigrant who is a gang member who's not allowed to be here. LOL, mass situations? Is that what it says there? Okay, who was saying LOL that? That's so stupid. This is the problem with left-wing memes. They joke about things that didn't actually happen. That's why they're never, you know, that's why they're never funny. Seriously. And let's see what everyone's saying. You know, Destiny is a stripper name. I will not be interacting with rage bait. No one laughed at George Floyd. You're so informed. Yeah, I mean, I didn't laugh at George Floyd ever. I just told the truth about him. He OD'd on fentanyl. My wife is a nurse, okay? 7 nanograms per deciliter of blood. That's all it takes to overdose. George Floyd had 11. We know for a fact that he OD'd because he was in the back of the cop car, sitting there, and he told the cop, oh, I can't breathe. He's got his hands behind his back, literally, chest is all out, sitting upright in the car, and he's saying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Derek Chauvin comes out and he says, you can't breathe? And he said, no, I can't, I'm having a hard time breathing. And so he's like, okay, and he laid him down on the ground. Now, when he laid him down on the ground, that was the wrong move, because now you're putting compression on his chest. Not smart. Then he's got his knee either on his back or his neck. There are 2 video camera angles. Hard to tell which one's which. Destiny is going to say he knows definitively that it was on his neck because he saw the one angle. That's all he needed. I will tell you, it's inconclusive because there's 2 video cameras. One of them you can clearly see in the middle of the back. The other one, it looks clearly like it's on his neck. Tough to tell. They both look very genuine. So, with that, I say inconclusive. Now, here's my stance, and this is what the left never pays attention to. Do I think Derek Chauvin is innocent? No. Because ignorance of the law does not mean you don't have consequences for your actions, okay? I will explain why. When Derek Chauvin had his knee on the guy's back, that's more likely what happened just based on the training video. That you can't do. And they're not applying any Narcan or anything like that. And they have him down there for 30 minutes just standing on him. Nothing happening. That is torture. Now, he didn't know he was committing torture, but that doesn't matter to me. I don't care if he knew it or not. It's torture. You're not supposed to do that. Well, I was trained to do it by the training video. Again, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Just because you were taught to do something, like he was taught to do something illegal, doesn't mean he should be doing the illegal thing. He's at fault for that. However, when they overstepped their bounds and they charged only Derek Chauvin for everything that happened, it made the police department who made that illegal training video not responsible. Why are they not responsible for it? It made all the other officers that were complicit with it too not responsible. Why? Derek Chauvin, as he literally stood there with a man dying under his knee, probably deserved 5-7 years for that. Why? Because at most it's manslaughter. It's not intentional. He didn't try to murder the guy, so you can't get him for murder. But instead, they got him for literally, what was it? Did they get him for first degree or did they get him for second degree murder? You know what I mean? Funny how George Floyd's death was the only death during the pandemic that didn't count as a death by COVID. Yeah, right. That's a good point. And when I first saw that video, I came out and was like, what is this cop doing? This is insane. And when I still see this video and I look at it, I'm like, what is this cop doing? This is insane. Like, it really is. If you really sit down and think about it. Now we have all these people who have martyred Derek Chauvin because Derek Chauvin got the worst, most idiotic sentence possible, while literally everyone else involved got away with it. And the left didn't care about that. And it's baffling to me because they did not care about actual justice. They cared about their vengeance. That's the point. See, right now, we could put all the blame on Tyler Robinson, the guy who took Charlie Kirk from us. We could put all the blame on him. But that would be the wrong thing to do because he was not the only one involved. And we could see that. We need to get all the people who were involved and charge them all appropriately. That's kind of the point. Destiny and his ilk, they don't care about that. They want to radicalize everyone. They want to give you the image of the worst possible person they can generate and make everybody go after them. That's what they're wanting to do. Why is Rob Schneider trending? We'll look at that here in a few. So, that's just the really, really stupid thing about George Floyd in general, you know? Nobody was allowed to LOL George Floyd. If you did, you were very quickly Kimmeled. The world went mad. You couldn't even question the racism element, which did not exist. Strange times. This guy says, I think it's because the arguments against George Floyd was trying to conclude that he was bad versus the reality of there being issues with the police force of that area. Extremists on both sides tried to make it about their own issue. See, this is somebody at least is talking sense here. I very rarely see anybody that's not on one side or the other. Honestly. Very rarely. So, there is that. You had an entire campaign to pardon Chauvin. Well, we've had multiple. And yet it's not happened. And you don't see very many people calling for that, do you? I don't think Chauvin needs to be at all pardoned, per se. I think he needs a retrial. I don't know if that's legal or not. And that's kind of the issue. And if that is the issue, if it's like, well, we cannot retry him, then it's like, okay, here in the next couple years, it needs to be reevaluated, and then it needs to be just, like, dismissed as a mistrial entirely. That's what I think needs to happen. Unfortunately for all the other officers, they're just going to get away with it. Because Derek Chauvin doesn't deserve to do more time than what he actually did. And what he did was he tortured a man. I don't know how long torture actually lasts in jail. Whatever that is, maybe it could be even 20 years, for all I know. I really don't know. Could be 7 to 20 years. He deserves to do the time for that. And I have made this argument with every single leftist. Every single one, but they never let me get to that point of telling it whatsoever. They always go, oh, you just want Derek Chauvin out. Anytime I try to say no, and they interrupt. And the college that radicalized the... Yeah, exactly. I think so, too. If it was a college. It might not have been. It could have just been the fact that he got linked up with the Antifa, that extreme trans Antifa group, you know. But if there was a college, because he only went one semester, so there is that. But that is enough time to radicalize someone. 9 months is, well, that's not quite 9 months, is it? The 6 months is quite a bit, enough time. How long is that? 5.5 months? Whatever the time is. It's enough time to radicalize someone, for sure. I just don't know that he was. I don't know how much evidence there is of it. But anyway, let's see. I've been center right for years and started watching you and started leaning more left because of you. And even though I'm still more center left, it's getting harder and harder to watch you because of S like this. I know you don't care, but I wish you could chill. I wish you would chill. Yeah. Now let's see his fans tear this guy apart. There is no way you're going to cry about Destiny's post when the entire right-wing atmosphere is calling for literal civil war against Democrats. That's not what's happening. See, that's the problem. And that's how far insane the left is gone. You know, big suspicion, cry. What exactly is he doing wrong? Exactly. He's pointing out the clear bias. The right does this, does that, S. Or the right does do that, S. No, we don't. Constantly. No. You're wrong. You're dead wrong. You know. Cuck you to a leftist? You serious? Wow. These are their true colors. This is the left's identity. Not facts, just fascist lies. You like watching the guy that films himself sucking... Yeah. It's interesting. It's funny because both sides are tearing into him a bit, but the right side's much nicer about it and much more joking about it. These guys are like, screaming. They're cry, big suspicion. There's no way you're going to cry about Destiny whenever they're calling for civil war. You aren't real. These people are making fun of him for listening to a cuck, though, which is funny. That is very funny. I don't care what side you are. If it's a cuck on the right, I'm making fun of you for it. You know, what's this? Okay, another bot. Look at this bot. Look at that. Low resolution, super low resolution picture. Nobody there. Thank you, Elon. You run your X account like garbage. Absolute garbage. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to mute this. God. Anyway. Let's see more Destiny posts because this guy's a loser. Jimmy Kimmel didn't lie. Everything he said was true. Destiny actually genuinely somehow believes that this shooter was right-wing. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. Not for a second. He doesn't believe it. He knows he doesn't believe it. At this point, Destiny's getting paid by somebody to say this. I don't believe it whatsoever, you know. Mugga was doing everything they could to have this guy be one of them. MAGA was doing everything they could not to have this guy be one of them. Nice. You should put a comma in there. You know, everything they could, comma, not to have this guy be one of them. We went from trans shooter to trans bullets to trans roommate in like 24 hours. You act like that's like wildly different stuff. So the bullets, 100% confirmed, those never went away. All inscribed everything. So there is that. Roommate, 100% confirmed. Okay, cool. He was together with that roommate, 1,000,000% confirmed. So do you think this guy probably isn't like super duper pro-trans? Or you think he's anti-trans? Do you think he's anti-trans, Destiny? I mean, that's crazy, right? So, as far as I'm concerned, someone who's nailing a trans and putting trans ideology all out there, pretty trans to me. Sounds like they're pretty trans. It might as well be the same thing. How is it any different? Genuinely, how's it? Doesn't make sense. He said, looks like the guardrails didn't hold. Between all the mainstream and alt media I've consumed, all the time I've spent in liberal spaces, I think it's mostly occupied by spineless Fs anyway, who are... God, Destiny, you're literally, like, the weakest person possible. You let people cuck you. You're weak. Who are too busy tripping over themselves to soy out over each other and can literally never effing stand on business against anything. Big props to the MAGA fascists and the tankies that helped them. Looking forward to spending time in the camps with my lived out friends when the time comes. It's going to be more of a padded cell for you. It's going to be a very nice padded cell. We'll make it comfortable. You know, we'll give you video games and stuff too. You won't be living a terrible, terrible life. You're just going to be not living in our reality anymore at all. You're going to be living off in your own world, away from people, so you don't harm others. That's what's going to happen to Destiny. You know, kind of wish Trump would have made an Antifa terrorist group in his first term. Yeah, we do too. Really do too. It's 8 years too late, you know. He didn't listen to us at the time. Nearly as well 8 years ago. Trump did not listen to us. And it's a shame, you know. Now look at this messed up one. Good morning. Charlie Kirk is officially 7 days fentanyl free. I mean, it was official before that. So, I mean, there is that. You know. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But Destiny thought it was funny. For some reason. You know. Yeah. Let's see. They ain't gonna like this. Yeah. Why would we like that? Because they're woke snowflakes. Just wild, isn't it? Of course, this guy has a death threat as his picture. 8647. You know, it's kind of wild. We all know what 86 means. If you need help knowing what 86 means, go back to old Team 4-Star videos. Could go there. They use that term a lot. It's, you know, pretty simple. Or watch a few older gangster movies where they say that term a lot. You know? Charlie Kirk wasn't a fentanyl fiend, unlike your hero George Floyd. You know? Not what I heard. Okay, well, we actually, you know, I get it. It's hyperbolic. I get it. He's trying to be funny. But what's funny about things is when they're true and unexpected. That's really what the key to humor is. You know? But when he's saying, not what I've heard, it's like, well, we actually have paperwork over it, and everybody knows that. We've seen the autopsy and stuff, but, you know, there's that. But these people are living in a delusion, you know? Not funny, mostly straw man, motivated by butthurt, economically illiterate, never original, leftist memes. That's exactly a great way to absolutely do it. Because it just takes right-wing memes, and then it just adds in false information with hardly any punchline whatsoever. You know? This could be funny if it was a person that actually literally died of a overdose. You know what I mean? You could make it funny. Anybody. I don't care. If it was actually Charlie Kirk and it was found out that, like, he had fentanyl in his system. Obviously, with what happened still, it would, you know what I mean? If everything took place the same thing, but they did an autopsy and they found out that he had that in his system at all, I could actually sit there and say, okay, the left did make a decently funny meme. It's not funny. It's distasteful in the sense of the timing. But it makes sense. It's unexpected. It's very, like, shocking. Could be funny if Charlie Kirk had it in his system. It's just the fact that he didn't at all. It's like, this is just random. This is just random stuck together things that you say that don't actually apply. And this just reminds me of those really stupid emo kids who are like, oh, I'm so random. I'm randomy random. I have a phone head. You know? I dealt with that crap all the time in school. So many of those kids, we would always go, it's the randomy random, and we would be very hyperbolic around them. And we'd be like, oh, look at me. I won't say the person's name out loud, but we used to say this guy's name all the time. I'm Skullhead. Oh, look at me. I'm so random. And he would get so upset in school. We bullied the crap out of that guy. I don't even feel bad for him because he turned out still to just in real life be such an unbearable jerk. So we never had problems messing with people like that, you know? I mean, just all the time, look at me. I'm a beatboxer head guy, you know? I'm so random. I'm Mr. Randomy Random guy. That's what this is. Because there's not a shred of truth to any of this. Officially, 7 days fentanyl free. You could have said that while he was alive, too. There's no punchline. There's no shocking surprise. It's more of like, what? What do you mean? If you say it about George Floyd, Everybody knows about the fentanyl in his system. It's insensitive to make fun of him for that. That's why I didn't make fun of him for that. You can go through my channel. It's pretty easy. You can do that right now. You won't find me making fun of the guy. I never made fun of him. And the reason being is because I don't think the timing would have been good at the time to be making fun of a dead guy. Now, I found out he was a piece of garbage. I found out, oh, actually him being gone is a plus for humanity because he won't harm anybody else again. He won't rob somebody. He won't rob a pregnant woman at gunpoint because that's what he did. It's unbelievable. Is Rumble working? Because nobody's in Rumble at all. Yeah, it looks like I'm not live on Rumble. Did it quit? Yeah, have an issue? Yeah, it's having an issue on Rumble. Okay, thank you, Rumble. Good job, guys. I'm literally using Rumble to stream to you guys right now. I don't know if you know this. I am literally streaming through Rumble to YouTube, and somehow Rumble has messed it up. I don't know how that's possible. Tired of streaming at 0? And Kick. Kick just never has anybody in it, ever. So I'm not worried about Kick. But somehow Rumble is broken. I don't get it. That's crazy. Oh well. I'll have to try again later. Anyway, let's see here. Destiny viewer. Guy makes a single post in my sub and okay, makes me post claiming he's one of my fans. Good journalism. Okay. Destiny viewer gets fired from his job for making Charlie Kirk assassination joke on TikTok. He is now trying to challenge his boss to a debate on stream. Oh, so Destiny's trying to say this guy isn't a fan of Destiny at all. But how could Destiny know that? Willie Mack. Oh, now he's calling him Pete. Oh, that's what a piece of garbage. What a piece of garbage. Calling Willie Mack, the guy who busted Destiny, admitting that he has underage stuff on his computer. And now he's calling Willie Mack. He's just trying to reverse it on him. That's such a cowardly thing to do. I got fired for my Charlie Kirk joke on Destiny. It's a fan of his. You can't make posts on Destiny. I've tried making posts. If you're not verified as a fan, they will just delete your posts on r/Destiny. I know that for a fact. So that's crazy. I don't even care. I absolutely agree that is a fan of his. Like, let's see. I'm a fan. You're easy access to dregs of the intolerant left. You're one of the best low grade. Okay, there we go. He watched you live. Literally the definition of a viewer. You are so effing... Yeah, I mean, this is crazy, you know? Bro defended him. He's posting your sources. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. So... bro's newly married and chooses to spread his time online attacking a streamer. That's just the way that they get around it. They don't even address the actual, like, issue. You know? Yeah, Rumble, that's the thing. I like Rumble a lot. But I can't get behind Jeremy when, you know, he's sitting there pushing so hard for Rumble. And Rumble is not making it easier to find my videos than YouTube. And let me put it this way. I'm not saying Rumble owes me anything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm literally saying people find me easier on YouTube than they do on Rumble. Much easier. I practically don't exist on Rumble in spite of being... I should be doing much better on Rumble than I am on YouTube. People on Rumble are way more likely to enjoy my stuff than people on YouTube are. And yet, I managed to grow 200 subscribers in a day. Just literally a week ago. Now, and don't get me wrong, it was not a fantastic way to grow. But one thing was for sure, when the whole Tim Pool stuff was going on, a year and a half ago now, I gained 7,000 subscribers in one stream. I can't get anything through Rumble. Genuinely, I can't. Like I said, I love Rumble. I will support Rumble in any way I can because they are very much more pro free speech than YouTube, but they just don't have it together the way YouTube does. They really don't. In all fairness, neither does Kick, because I should be doing decently well on Kick too. I should be able to get 2 or 3 people over there. I get 0 every time. YouTube, I can pull in here in I'll show you guys probably here in about the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm going to get a massive boost. At right around 5 to 5:15, people start flooding in here. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut it after that pretty quickly. But it's just a little strange to me that, yeah, I mean, so YouTube does, but that's not quite what I mean. So think about it this way. When people want to find a topic, they type in the topic they're looking for on YouTube, and I actually will pop up. If you apply that same topic, well, actually, I should just encourage you, try it for yourself. Try to find any one of my videos on Rumble. It doesn't show up. The topics that will show up, it'll be a lot of unrelated videos. That's what I could even prove it this way too. Type in monster trucks or something like that into Rumble, and you're going to see videos pop up that aren't really related to that. And it's weird. Not that I've typed in monster trucks specifically. I'm just giving an example. But at the end of the day, it's what's strange is I'll look stuff up on Rumble. I'll look music stuff up all the time because I try not to support YouTube. So I'll look up like some people who've uploaded music stuff on there, and I won't find anything I'm looking for. But if I go like into Google and type it in and then add Rumble to it, sometimes I can actually find a video if I really snoop around. Going way outside of the Rumble search. It's not good. I shouldn't be doing that to find videos on Rumble. You know what I mean? That's kind of my whole point about Rumble, is their search is just terrible. Terrible. And they claim that they're using Google search with it, but I don't know what could be going on. And if they are actually, maybe Google's sabotaging them. And if that's the case, then they need to stop using that. But I couldn't tell you if that's actually what's going on or not, of course. But I just find it very inconvenient to find anything I'm looking for on Rumble. And I hope they fix that. Because I would delete everything YouTube if Rumble was doing really well. Squid Tips is crashing out after getting fired from his job at Nordstrom for attacking Cam Higbee. The problem is I don't know what any of that is. Could you fill me in a little bit? I could try to look into it. Let me just, let me see. Let me see if there's anything new with Antifa here, too. Let's refresh. Okay. This guy's job is to identify. The Bolsheviks were a faction of Russian Marxists led by Vladimir Lenin. Yeah, we knew this. Okay. Oh, I see what that's. Yeah, it's going on a different claim. Let's see. They are okay. Nothing new. Nothing new at the moment. Let's see. Kimmel's trending in Oklahoma. What is he coming here? Oh, is Kimmel coming here again though? I hope not. Let's see. Because I know all that's going to be coming up. Let's see the latest. Why is it trending with Oklahoma? Let's see. Now we go. Oh, no. Hold on. I haven't read it yet. I just see Venables and Jimmy Kimmel. Oklahoma coach Brent Venables will have his team wearing jersey patches that read, "Free Jimmy Kimmel" in the Sooners game. Oh, no. Venables. He was the greatest coach, one of the greatest coaches of all times for OU. For most of you people out here, I know what you're going to say. Venables was not the Bengals, the Clemson coach. But before he was Clemson, back in the 90s, he was our best defense coach for Oklahoma University. So, yeah, I live here in Oklahoma. Yeah, it's just absolutely wild. Hey, Madness. Hey, Lucids. Dio, good name, though. Dig that for sure. The Daily Propaganda, yeah, absolutely. So, anyway, it's crazy. He was the best coach. One of the greatest coaches of all time in OU history. And now he is going to be wearing patches. Now, here's a fun fact. Who do you think is going to be going to Auburn games? Do you guys think that it's going to be left-wingers that pay money to go to these college games? Or do you think it's going to be right-wingers who pay and go to college football games? Of course, the students will show up. And of course, they'll be left-wing. I would not pay, or I'm not even going to watch the broadcast for that game coming up with Venables doing that. If they have those patches on there, no. I will not support OU until Venables is fired. Because I'm just not going to do it. I don't have to. And I'm not going to deal with Venables inciting violence. If he's saying that literally Jimmy Kimmel was correct for inciting violence against Charlie Kirk, then I'm going to associate him with incitement to violence. I think that's pretty fair. He probably does live in Tulsa. No, he'd probably live in Oklahoma City, honestly. I mean, they're pretty blue. Tulsa and Oklahoma City, you know? Freaking Tulsa. Good God. I'm glad they caught that guy, huh? Over at Hunter Park. I used to go to Turkey Mountain all the time. It's crazy. I don't know if it's exactly him, but not yet anyway. But this guy was caught committing in broad daylight. Yeah, he was cutting that girl's pants off. And she managed to pepper spray the crap out of him and get away. Good for her. I want to know who that girl was over at Hunter Park that pepper sprayed that guy. Good job. But maybe instead of pepper spray, maybe you carry a 9 with you. Maybe you get yourself a 9. Or maybe she should get herself one of those little, what do they call them? Those breakover 2-barrel little, a Derringer. Maybe she should get herself a little Derringer, you know. Put those right in the eyes instead of pepper spray. Should have done that, you know. David Kaplowitz sounds like a massive bootlicker. Wait, where's that guy? David Cap. Did I see him? I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, he probably is a Tulsa guy. But Tulsa used to be great. Come on, Tulsa was awesome. I don't know if you've been to Tulsa. Going downtown. Used to love going down there. Last time I went downtown with a couple of buddies, it was on March 17th. It's that freaking holiday. I don't know why I can't think of it. St. Patrick's Day. It was a big St. Patrick's Day brawl that broke out right over. Do you know where the rabbit hole is? Do you know notifications when I checked your channel? Didn't even show you were live. Oh, really? Oh. Weird. Wonder what's going on with YouTube today. Good job, YouTube. Appreciate it. Join the Discord, Ed. I don't know if you know how to get Discord on your phone or anything, but I think you'd really like it in there. I think you would do really, really well in there. You know, lots of people to talk to. It's a good community. I'm going to try and get going back up there. Got a couple guitarists in there, too. So I think you'd like it. Download Discord and then click my link in YouTube. It'll take you to a website. Just keep following the clicks and it'll eventually pop you into the app on Discord. Haven't ever been outside Europe. I've never been outside the U.S. I would have loved to have come to Europe. But if I go anywhere in Europe whatsoever, I think it's going to be Poland. Because I think that's the only place I'd feel safe, to be honest. You know? Dang it, though, Venables. That makes me so upset. Whatever. What's up with Rob Schneider here? Free speech in the U.S. means the government cannot punish you for what you say. It doesn't mean you're free from all consequences. Private individuals, employers, and organizations can still respond to your words, disagree, or impose their own consequences. Agreed. And we know for a fact he was losing them $40 million a year. Why aren't people talking about that? You know? Did you see where they found the owner of a vet clinic in Edmond and put a huge banner? Oh, I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one at all. I did see the, I was going to cover that today. Yeah. Do I have it? Oh, nope. I shouldn't show messages. Although, well, it's just mine, right? Oh, that's Next Benedict. And I messaged him, so it's not showing any of his messages. I don't even think Bering's seen my account yet. Bering probably won't know for like a month or so. Because, good old X, it's not because he's ignoring me. It's because X literally, if I send a message to anyone and I have not purchased X, no one can see my stuff. It's annoying. No one can see it. It's like, and they even tell you that too. Let me see if it's like premium. I think it says, enjoy enhanced experience, exclusive tools, and where is it that it says it? Ads, reply boost, radar edit post. Let's see. Does it say it here? Optional verification. It says something like, whenever I get the advertisement on here, it says, get more likely to be noticed when you upgrade. And it's like, oh, cool. So there's literally an automatic layer of shadow banning on anybody who's not paying for it. I really hate that, you know? Oh, hey, Chris, thank you for that, man. I do appreciate that. Man, they're doing great. In fact, I can hear the kids and the mom screaming downstairs. 100%. They're loud. But they're having fun. They're not mad or anything like that. Sometimes them girls they're starting to get some personalities, I can tell you what. Those girls are, they're pretty out there. They can get a little wound up. It's definitely changing into a different position. Let's see. Who am I looking at? Oh, this is just my normal feed. Let's see. What was I going to search? Where did I send that to myself? I sent that article. Where was it? I could have swore I sent it to myself on X. Oh, wait. Maybe I tweeted it out. Let's see. Obama. There's Obama calling for this. This guy's like, after years of complaining about cancel culture, the current administration has taken it to new and dangerous level by routing, threatening, regulatory action against the media companies unless they muzzle or fire my wife's giant penis. I mean, reporters and commentators it doesn't like. Whatever. I can't do an Obama impression. But I want to be clear. Yeah. Anyway, he is the guy who pretty much coined the term hate speech in America. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's pretty wild. Dude who literally just upgraded premium. I have twice, and they keep banning my account. That's the problem. I guess I should have said that. So they banned my account here, my other account. And the reason they gave me was account manipulation. I don't know what that means. It's like, cool. Like, yep, you're banned for account manipulation. And it's like, okay. I haven't manipulated anything. I haven't done anything. So they banned my first account. They didn't even tell me why. And I've been asking them forever. My original account. So I believe it's just Arthemesia01. And I want that account back. I don't know why, but I just do. I've gotten it unbanned multiple times. But it keeps getting banned. And they never tell me why. This next account, I got banned for account manipulation. Couldn't tell you what that means at all. I thought because what I had done was I tried to community note someone and I linked a source, but it said that source had to be on X, that it could not be like from a different website, like an actual source. I thought I could just link a real source, and I was like, okay. So I got Grok to pull up the source, linked it to the Grok post, and then I was banned like literally like 5 minutes later, and I was like, was I not allowed to do that? Okay. Then I look on there and it says something about account manipulation, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. And maybe it's related somehow. Maybe something happened like that. I don't know. It's very strange. Maybe that did cause the ban, and I just don't understand why. But anyway, I posted this too. So, anytime Destiny ever says, ever, that the shooter was right-wing, and the shooter was right-wing because his parents were right-wing, Destiny admitted that when he was growing up, he was right-wing with right-wing parents. Just letting you guys know. Pretty wild, right? I actually have the exact video, too. I could probably show it. I should show it just so I can clip it in context. It was Turkey Tom's. I can find it exactly where it is, actually. Pretty easily. Go to his website. You search down here, Destiny, and then it's going to be this video right here.
Is it Ron Paul?
In 2000.
I never heard of this.
Some
And then I can
website
just
like
play
that.
Huh, 2010. Oh my God. So you switched to politics. Why does that work out so well for you? Because you hadn't done political debate discussion really before. You weren't like a pundit.
Not online, but like my whole life I kind of had been. Like I grew up like super debatey in high school because every day there was like really left leaning, and I was like super Republican because of my parents. Like I'd written like articles defending like George W. Bush and the Iraq War, and I like listened to Michael Savage and Glenn Beck.
What was the guy you liked? Was it Ron Paul?
In 2008 for college, yeah.
All right, so March 13th, 2017, you're
And there you
on
go.
Twitter.
That's all we need to see, right? Admits it right there. He was super conservative. Let's see. Emergency alert extreme. Isabella Rodriguez, last seen in Seminole County, 14 years old, I think. Years of age. Okay. Could just put the YO in there. Female, 5'1", 110 pounds, brown hair and hazel eyes, possibly wearing black tennis shoes, dark blue jeans, light gray sweatshirt, and black Adidas ball cap. Law enforcement is concerned for her safety. Okay. Let's see what this is. Looks like an Amber Alert. Okay. That's not good. And it got rid of it. Oh, no, it's still out. Okay. Let's go here. What are they going to show? Okay. Let's see. Endangered missing alert has been activated by the Seminole County. Rodriguez was last known to be on foot in Seminole County, possibly. Okay. She run away? At-risk missing person? They probably should let us know if this person's a little mentally ill or something so we can know what to do if we run into her. You know, but if anybody somehow sees this person, I doubt any of y'all live anywhere near. Over here, Seminole County. There we go. You know, just in case, you know, you never know. Never know. It could get out there. One of you guys could just somehow be in the right area at the right time, you know. You got to read terms of service. Are you saying Destiny? Wait, what? No, Destiny's not the shooter. No. He's just lost his mind completely. Destiny's just absolutely insane. Poor guy's just broken. He must have had a serious mental breakdown. Here's the thing, though. 70 teachers. This is a great one here, guys. Okay, I think we're pretty much almost done. But I told you I'd get a boost. I ended up getting a boost, getting 20 people in at once. For some reason, happens all the time, right around 5, somewhere in between 5 and 5:15. Get a nice boost in here. It wasn't as nearly as big of a boost as last time, but some stream days aren't great, you know? Happens. But here's the thing, you know? Not that it wasn't great. I mean, great on numbers. It happens. But here's the thing, you know? YouTube makes me visible. Rumble does not. That was kind of my point before, you know? So I just wanted to kind of point it out there, and I kind of showed you guys that it happened, you know? It's just weird. And I don't know why Rumble hasn't fixed that issue yet. If they fixed that one issue, just that one issue, it wouldn't even matter if Rumble didn't have monetization or not. If they fixed that one issue and made visibility easy, people would go right on Rumble. They would be using it over YouTube, and they would just get sponsors. They would just get separate sponsors outside of there. and it would just be a floodgate. Rumble would have a hard time keeping up with their servers. There'd be so many people going in there. If they just did that. So, you know. Not sure why dairy fairies whose diets rely on soy somehow have to use soy as an insult. Why insult yourselves? Wait, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Well, so Rumble's not working right now for some reason. I don't know why. I'm streaming from Rumble. How you guys are watching this right now, I'm using their encoder. Like, completely through their website to multi-stream. And yet, it's not working on Rumble right now. I don't know what happened, but it's coming to YouTube just fine. So that's kind of my... I hate to trash Rumble, but I'm like, guys, come on. Like, how can YouTube just, in every way, shape, and form, dominate so hard when Rumble knows how to dominate? But they're not doing it. They're just not putting in that action. But anyway, Oklahoma State Superintendent Ryan Walters announced over 70 certified teachers in Oklahoma have been identified after an investigation from OSDE into comments made regarding the ending of Charlie Kirk. 224 reports have been submitted through a feature within the state's proprietary Awarity software. Regarding defamatory comments, 30 reports spoke about some schools not observing a moment of silence, and 3 reports described schools are not flying their flags at half-staff. Now, depending on the context of some of those schools, I feel like if they're under 6th grade, I can understand why they wouldn't have a moment of silence. Probably because they're going to assume that most of those students don't know who Charlie Kirk is, and it might be a little weird for someone of that age to be learning about something like this. You know what I'm saying? 7th grade and over. But, well, did he say school districts or did he say schools? Hold on. 30 reports about some schools. Okay, that's different. If it was school districts, then I'd be like, okay, now that's an issue. Schools, individually, if all of them turned out to be under 6th grade, I'm going to be like, hey, that's probably fine. Maybe don't bring it up to the kids that young that this incident occurred. They can literally learn that in the next couple of years, you know. Let's see. What happened to Kirk proved we can't reason with people who are completely brain. Yeah, 100%, you know. Happens to people all the time. Yeah, sucks. Oh, yeah. Did I hear about whatever that was? Squid tips. Yeah, you never told me about squid tips. But I'll just pull it up real quick. What is this? Squid tips. Oh. Okay. Okay, well, yeah. How I went from being a transphobe to a trans ally. You piqued my interest here. And he's spurging out over what was it? Let me scroll back up. From his job at Nordstrom for attacking Cam Higbee. Who is Cam Higbee? Let me find out. Okay. Vlog into Gaza and Nordstrom. Okay, let's see. Okay, well, not logged into Facebook, so I'm not allowed to see it. Far left Seattle provocateur releases list targeting into... Oh, what's this? This is freaky. Far left Seattle provocateur releases list targeting independent journalists in light of Charlie Kirk's... Okay. Okay, then. Let's see. That's a little psychotic. Jonathan Clow, Matthew Adams, Cam Higbee. I see. Beware of right-wing grifters operating in Seattle. So Cam Higbee is... a journalist, huh? And Nordstrom's attacking him? So what is this? Okay, I see. So Nordstrom wasn't involved with that really at all. They just fired the guy who was literally, okay. Proving fascists are cowards featuring... Oh! Somebody wrote an article over this idiot. Oh! So Squid Tips is the one who posted this. I gotcha. Hold on. This is actually a crazy story. Okay. Tim Pool is now on some list. Is Tim Pool on this here? No. Yeah, that's crazy though. This is crazy. Yeah, this guy's a psychopath. Okay. Let's see. Ring switch conspiracy? No, or ring switch. I'm not sure what you're talking about on that. Let's see, Alphabet Peoples. I do know that ring switch. Is there like, was it like are you talking about like a ring doorbell? The World War II Italian Socialist Party is authoritarian, far extreme lefties. Yeah. No, for sure. Number 3 on some list. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, which list was that, though? Yeah, Tim Pool, I don't know. I'm kind of done with that beef. You know, he's still doing good work. That's the thing about Tim Pool. We're never going to know. And what I think, now that I've been thinking about it a lot more often, I really think the whole Eliza Blue cover-up thing that happened, I'm wondering if it wasn't that Shane Cashman may have been nearly having an affair. And if they were like keeping that under wraps or what was going on. I think I was really quick to go to conspiracy. And then when I also pull back and look, I'm like, kind of looks like Shane Cashman may have been having an affair. You know what I mean? And that's when he's got wife and I think he has a kid. I'm not sure. That's not good. And I wonder if Tim was like, dude, you don't want that kind of publicity. And you're not going to bring that kind of publicity here. If you want to stay here, I'm going to have to let you go if it gets found out about this, you know, and if that's why it all went to this big cover-up. Because that would be a terrible look, you know. Definitely would have ruined some reputations. And if that's the case, I'm not interested in that either, per se. I don't care. If they're having their affair or whatever they're doing, that is their own private crap, you know. I'm not going to come out and, I don't know, care about that. I have more important things to fry than that. So there is that. But anyway, so the Squid Tips guy, okay, got fired. Got fired and he couldn't be happier. Yeah, I bet. Absolute loser. My apology to Cam Higbee and my community. Yeah, it sounds like he's an absolute loser. That's crazy. Y'all want to watch this before I go? Let's give this a shot. That's crazy. I like that he got fired for it.
This video is an apology to Cam Higbee, who I had an interaction with a couple days ago at the University of Washington that I am not proud of. In that interaction, I did not operate in a way that was consistent with my values. I seek to model good behavior for every community that I'm in, whether it be my community of Seattle, whether it be my motorcycle riding community, whether it be my Discord, whether it be my soccer team, wherever. And what I did in that interaction was not modeling good behavior. And that's why I want to apologize for it, because another core value I have is that it is more important to adapt and adjust to new information and experiences than it is to stay the same, be a stick in the mud and stubborn.
Okay, well, this is a very, very, very long video for an apology video. Definitely wanted to monetize that, I think. I'm not able to tell because I have a YouTube subscription, so I don't know if this is monetized or not. Okay. Transcript. Let's see. Live leak. Let's see here. There we go. This is what we want to talk about.
Computer screen just because you've seen them in clips or something. I didn't like what happened to Charlie Kirk for a lot of reasons. I sincerely don't like looking at violence. I grew up on Rotten.com and Faces of Death and Live Leak, and I'm cool. I don't need to see that anymore. That's why I've checked out of watching things like Ukrainian coverage when it was all just drones doing it. Charlie may have been an amazing husband and father and friend and community member. You know, that's another reason I try not to judge people through the screen, is because we all have good and bad inside of us. I'm not religious, but I do connect.
I want to see the original video. Am I able to, does he have the original video where he apparently, let's read this article, because at least they'll tell me something about it. First report by independent journalist Jonathan Klopp. Okay, I don't care about that. Let's see. Allegedly released a right-wingers, grifters, doxers, and harassers list to YouTube targeting prominent West Coast independent journalists, media, and citizen journalists. The YouTube video is no longer available. Okay. According to Randall's Blue Sky and Instagram photo profiles, he referred to himself as a motorcycle evangelist, educator, and provocateur, who is a full-time himbo trying to aggressively change the world. Himbo is an attractive but unintelligent man. Okay, great. Okay, anyway. At first, I thought he was just an unhinged activist with an opinion, Coe told the Linwood Times. But after what I observed from this weekend and how his language and social media posts escalated, now I will be filing a police report for my own protection. Oh, okay. It's a little wild. I wish this article was written better, because I hate whenever it's all gapped out like this. Coe, who had been physically attacked by mobs, dressed in black bloc and far-left activists, told the Linwood Times that he feels Randall is inciting violence and encouraging people to go after journalists in the wake of the assassination of Kirk. Randall is an alleged Antifa scout, a source told Linwood Times, who goes around and rallies protests with buddies on motorcycles. Great. So he's just an Antifa dude that stirs up trouble, supports violence, and then when he gets called out on it and realizes, oh, my channel ain't very big. I only got 175,000 people on it. Oh, I still have to work a job because 175,000 subscribers is not enough for me to make money on. So, you know, that kind of person, he's got a lot more to lose. So, of course, he's going to apologize. If this guy had 500,000 subs plus, he wouldn't be apologizing for anything. I don't think he would be at all. I don't believe that somebody who literally could sit there and still be on the whole side of like the LGBTQ and all that stuff, not gay people in general. I'm just saying the specific groups that associate with those movements and trans movements, Antifa and all that stuff. If you're supporting all that stuff, I don't believe you're genuinely sorry at all or feel any remorse for what happened to Charlie Kirk. I genuinely don't think that's the case. Because those are the people who are attacking him, and they're not denouncing this. But let's see.
Yesterday was my last day as a Nordstrom employee, because Nordstrom has joined a growing list of companies who are giving in to a hate mob, who is doxing, harassing, sending death threats, and in my case, gloating about my dog dying last month. That type of people is who they are choosing over their loyal employees. The mob...
That's not even close to the truth. Okay, this guy's an idiot. Let's listen to this.
...went after me because they thought that taking away my job would silence me.
So you mean whenever you were like kind of doxing people and telling people to be aware of these specific people and to target them with Antifa, that's somehow not really the same thing, huh? Not really the same thing at all as what you're claiming that Nordstrom here is defending. That's a wild take, buddy.
Would make me afraid, would ruin my life. But really all it's done is unshackle me from the only things restraining my behavior in the first place.
This guy absolutely has some sort of mental health like issues. You can always see it in their eyes. I guarantee he's been diagnosed with like something like bipolar or something. I'm willing to bet that. I would like to find out if he's ever been diagnosed with something like that. But I know quite a few people in my life who have those type of eyes. When they're staring like right through you, and their gaze never breaks. It's really odd. It's very unnatural.
You see, I'm not vulnerable like other people that they're going after. I've been working a tech job and a tech career for 15 fucking years. And I don't live a lifestyle like some of these champagne socialists where I have a lot of expensive shit. No, I'm just a really normal, average guy who really likes his community and really cares about living his fucking values.
And is that why you're going around and putting people on lists and inciting Antifa to keep an eye on them? You know, a designated terrorist organization? Don't know if that's a smart idea, man. Sounds like incitement to me.
Without a job,
I think that's fair.
I have way more time
want to get rid of an
to
employee
do
that's breaking
whatever
the
the
law.
fuck I want to, including
Potentially, anyway.
speaking out
Breaking the law.
about rising fascism and helping people understand what we can do to stop it. I knew that speaking out against Kirk could get me fired, and I did it on purpose anyway. As a white man,
Yeah, that's pretty pathetic, to be honest. That's really, really pathetic to be, you know, trying to call someone out after they're gone. That's some petty BS.
in America, who
If
is an
Hasan were literally put down today at all, I would not be dancing on the dude's grave. I would at least be giving time. I wouldn't be sitting there saying he deserved it or anything like that, because I don't think people deserve to be taken down for their ideology. If it were to happen under the same circumstances. Being the fact that Hasan advocates for violence, though, gives me a little bit less to care about. Can't really support somebody who's, you know, literally advocating for violence. When you advocate for violence, you welcome violence on yourself. So there's that. So maybe I should say something like, because not even Destiny, because Destiny advocates for violence. So I wouldn't care if something like that happened to him in general. Now, I denounce it. I don't think anybody should be doing that. It's illegal. Should never be breaking the law. It's just, would I actually care if I saw it? I'd be like, well, dude was actually literally calling for violence. What did he think would happen? You can't call for violence. You cannot call for violence, you know? That's like trying to burn a house down. And then you get caught up in the flames. And it's like, yeah, what did you think was going to happen? You know what I mean? You were doing something stupid. And then you got caught up in it? Yeah, I don't care. Don't do that. You know? Yeah, exactly. Except in self-defense, 100%. But that's not, to me, that's not even being violent anymore. That's just eliminating a threat, you know? People shouldn't be attacking each other.
ally
see what this guy
to the
is,
queer community. I do my best to be a bellwether for what we can do in this country. Where is our freedom actually at? And that is what I have done, is I have followed the logical conclusion of anarchist calisthenics, and this is where it brought me. So in this video...
Really? That's where it brought you? Do you not think for yourself at all? Where are our freedoms at? I got a question. What can a trans person not do that a normal human being can do? Genuinely. Like, what are you talking about? Like, they can follow every single law the exact same way we all do. So, what rights do they not have? What, to be able to beat the crap out of a woman? Like, in sports? As a biological male? Do you think that's a right for them? So if you just go and you put a dress on, buddy, you feel like you could just start wailing on a woman? Is that what you're trying to tell me? For real? That's a little, shocking. I guess it may not be that shocking.
I'm going to explain the world as I see it today from the front lines that I exist in the streets, in this propaganda war. I'm going to talk about why I think it's critical we come together right now to fight back and what specifically we can do to stop it.
Okay, this is cringe.
My sick hat. Too bad I can't really wear it that way. Just go the other way. There's this really powerful photo from Nazi Germany, and I am going to pronounce it like that to try to get around the YouTube algorithm shit.
Let's see
so
this
I'm
garbage.
going to pronounce it like
hilarious.
Aldo does in Inglourious Bastards. And in this video, you can see all the people giving the Roman salute, the Sieg.
Okay. Cool. So...
Heil to this boat, except for one guy.
Yeah, he's on the front
It's
line.
believed that man's name was August Landmesser. And the photo just captures his very powerful resistance in the face of fascism.
You don't know that he's actually even resisting per se either. Like, he may just not have wanted to do the salute. I've known people who love America that literally wouldn't salute the flag, you know? Just because they were lazy or daydreaming or looking off at something else. A picture... They say a picture's worth 1,000 words for a reason. Because you can make a picture pretty much into anything you want it to be. You know what I mean? It could be anything that you decide it is. But not saying that that guy's not right. Of course, one guy standing up to fascism. It's a beautiful thing if it is true. I'm just saying, like, you know, he's looking into this like, this is just such a powerful moment, and it actually just might not be. Might just be the guy was a lazy a-hole. Who knows? Which would be hilarious. But that's kind of what the left tries to do. They shoehorn something in that they just believe with this powerful messaging that isn't really much of a message at all. Because the bigger message when it came to it was us utterly obliterating them. You could have said something like that. You know what I mean? Not the guy that's, it's no, we came together and we destroyed fascists. And those are the type people that you yourself call fascist. Are the people who believed in those American values back in the 1940s. Kind of hilarious how that is, isn't it? Just weird, you know, that we don't want to go back to things that were like the 1940s because everything was racist and bad back then. But yet, who was it that actually took care of the Nazis? Huh. Crazy. Just a weird thing to think about, isn't it? Sometimes using your noodle isn't that hard.
Roman
But he
salute
said so
went from a
himself, he's
thing
a
that some
himbo.
people did to each other to being the national official greeting in Germany. To enforce this law, the Nazi government encouraged citizens to turn in their coworkers, friends, and family for failing to comply. And by 1934, they had created
Hey, does
special...
that sound like freedom of speech, by the way? I'm genuinely curious. Does it sound like freedom of speech is going on in that country when you can't literally say anything and they arrest you? Huh. Wow. It's crazy. Yeah, Germany was so much like Trump. You know what I mean? So they didn't believe in a First Amendment whatsoever. It's kind of wild. They didn't have freedom of speech whatsoever. They're the ones who attacked it. And then, you know, I always love how, like, Germany tries to also, or how they also said that Germany had, like, capitalistic views. But guess what happened if you didn't do businesses the way you should be doing businesses? Yeah, they took them. They also made you do whatever it is that they wanted you to do for a business. You didn't necessarily get to choose. But, you know, that's good old-fashioned capitalism, right? The freedom to be able to trade with each other and be able to own capital, which Germany wouldn't let its citizens do, so they weren't a capitalist country either. So that kind of makes them socialist, and then the left hates that, you know?
courts
Weird,
just
right?
to prosecute people for this crime,
Wait, he
where
put
the
his hand up after
punishment
the
could
pic?
be a fine,
Oh, really?
internment, or even being sent to a concentration camp.
Oh. What was his name? Hold on. August Landmesser. Let me see if it's debunked, actually. That is funny. See, I called it, didn't I? Let me see. August Landmesser debunk. Was a German who suggested the man appeared in 1936 photography, conspicuously refusing to perform the salute. Landmesser had run afoul of over his unlawful relationship with Irma Eckler. Years after his death, his daughter suggested that he was the man in the famous photograph. However, the identity of the man of the photograph was not known with certainty. Another family okay. Well, that's the Wikipedia rundown, but was it debunked? Maybe it wasn't. Why did he refuse? Let's see. Stuck his arm out after picture. Maybe if I'm specific. Let's see. Lone man e-fusing. They didn't even fix their rarehistoricalphotos.com. Nice job there, guys. Anyway. Crossed arms stood strong when he showed his disapproval by not displaying it. I'm not finding anything to corroborate that, unfortunately. You said it was on the History Channel? Let's see. Landmaster. Well, this is the only thing. So, let's see. The story of August Landmaster anti-gesture begins, ironically enough, with the party believing that, okay. Little did he know his heart would soon ruin any progress superficial political affiliation might have made. Let's see. Okay, so... Okay. I don't know. But it might not be him in the picture, but if it is him, I think this guy was pretty solid. So, can't remember the name. Was it like Drunken History, maybe? Something like that. Or was it? What was that one? Because that was a very fun one. I like that. I need to start watching that again. They should make it. Somebody should do a YouTube channel on it. Because I don't know if that show's still around anymore. It's really clever. But yeah, anyway, it's just, I kind of find it to be funny, though. You know, he could have just mentioned the fact that, you know, we actually went out of our ways to make sure that fascism wasn't a thing here in America at all. And that was in the 1940s, you know, with people that apparently were really bad people, according to the left.
Right-wing campaign enlisting everyday people to dox, harass, threaten, intimidate, and get people fired from their jobs for failing to correctly respect Charlie Kirk's death.
See, no, this is where you're wrong, though. See, I'm one of those people, and I'm not going after people who weren't respectful to Charlie Kirk. I'm going after people who were saying he deserved to get the bullet. And let me explain to you why. It is illegal to incite violence. When you say somebody deserved to get murdered, that is literally incitement to violence. You are actively telling people it is okay to shoot someone you don't like. I don't know if English is your first language, but even you should probably be able to understand that as a himbo. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty easy to understand that people saying he deserved this are inciting violence because it's not okay for people to take other people's lives that they disagree with. Unless you think that it is okay for that. And then the whole apology video meant nothing.
Is the modern version of enforcing the Roman salute. The right wing is trying to muddle the definition of Nazi in order to maintain their persecution complex and get away with all of these crimes. But
no, that's not even close to true. You just made all that up. You literally made all that up. Nazi is literally National Socialist, first and foremost. They were incredibly socialist. They were incredibly left-wing. They were very nationalist. They didn't like capitalism whatsoever. And they did not like freedom of speech. They did not want their citizens to be armed against them either. It's kind of pretty much everything anti-America that you could possibly make them. They seized the means of production. They didn't believe in capitalism. I don't know where the left started kind of getting that from. They were like, well, they were capitalists. And it's like, no, they did everything the opposite of what a capitalist can do. It's not the freedom to be able to trade with each other. That's for sure. And they seized the means of production. They were incredibly socialist. They praised socialism all throughout their writings. I mean, you can read anything historically about their economy. The Germans were very happy with socialism. They really liked it for some reason. Mainly because I think those type of people are pretty miserable people. They just like making, their entire surroundings miserable, I guess. Yeah, we like socialism. Please torture us more. I mean, they are into some weird stuff. Germans are... I guess they know how to party, right?
In the last month, we have seen
the
the following. Donald Trump has said he wants to criminalize burning the American flag. Federal troops have been deployed to American cities under false pretext in order to enforce a mild version of martial law.
And no, that's not true. You lied about that part. The flag burning, I can get behind with you. You know, I can get behind that. Because if I buy something with my private property, I got the right to burn it. However, only if you're outside of the city limits. And I think that's something that people don't realize. You can't burn stuff in the city limits without permission because you could set other things on fire. And if you're specifically doing it with an American flag, this is kind of the point, is they're going to target you more. They're going to see that, because if they see someone burning a stick, they're probably going to let it be for the most part. But if you're burning an American flag, since it's already illegal to burn things in the city, that's what they're going to charge you with. But they're going to be like, hey, we're kind of incentivized to go ahead and take this guy in. Now, should they be letting the other people go that are burning sticks and stuff? Probably not either. But they're not going to care because most people are probably just trying to burn away brush and stuff that they've cut out of their trees. And it's like, yeah, we're not, it's going to be difficult to deal with that on trash day. Chopping all that up. And the garbage people are going to hate dealing with it. This whole city's going to hate dealing with it. As long as it's not a burn ban going on for the most part, maybe we let them burn some debris off. I get that. Burning the American flag in the city limits, it's like, okay, fine. Charge them with, illegally burning something in the city. Makes sense. I don't see a problem with that per se. But if they came out to my house in the country and told me I couldn't burn my property in places where I'm legally allowed to burn whatever I want, sorry, no, absolutely not. I don't care if it's the American flag or not. People are allowed to do that. World War II German Socialist Party did race socialism. What's the the nationalistic part? Yeah. They just love Germany, right? They were international. Well, okay. So they were nationalistic in the sense that they wanted to turn the whole world into Germany. They really kind of wanted to do that and exterminate people. Exterminate the people who weren't very German looking, I guess you could say, for the most part. So there's that aspect. That kind of makes them nationalist. At the end of the day, is it any different than what the non-nationalist socialists did? And, communists? No, it's not any different. They cleanse people that they don't like all the time just for looking a certain way. It's really, at the end of the day, just words that don't really mean much.
Rage mobs directed by the vice president are terrorizing anybody who speaks out. Friends, this is what fascism...
Well, that's the thing, too. Yeah, the military. So he got to the military in this part of the video. And here's the problem with that. He's literally arresting people with the military that the courts are refusing to hold in court. And refusing to sentence properly. He's going there and cleaning out all these insane criminals that are breaking federal law and putting them in prison where they belong. It's crazy. Had Donald Trump's task force been in South Carolina, was it North Carolina or South Carolina? North Carolina, right? Charlotte. Wherever Charlotte is. Had they been there, that guy probably wouldn't have stabbed that woman to death on the train. They probably would have gotten him. Arrested 14 times for 14 different violent crimes. Arrested into that judge's little, whatever it's called, rehab center. And got paid by the government to be in that rehab center. That's pretty illegal. They probably would have caught that guy. They probably would have caught that guy. And hopefully they would have arrested the judge with him. It's disgusting. But you're taking all that out of context because you don't know what's going on. You just saw Trump's put troops on the ground, and you started screaming fascist. Are they arresting people they shouldn't be arresting? If the answer's no, they're not doing anything fascist. If they start arresting citizens that they don't like, that didn't break the law, you actually have a problem. Then it would be fascist. It's ridiculous what you're saying here. And you guys were the ones saying Trump would never send them to a red state. They're being sent to Memphis, Tennessee. Because we don't care where the crime is. We want the crime cleaned up.
Looks like this is how the Nazis came to power. It was not a violent coup. They just politicked themselves into power and then closed the fucking door for anyone else.
It wasn't a violent coup? Are you insane? Do you know what Hitler was in prison for before it happened? Are you kidding me? This guy doesn't know anything about World War II. When did Hitler write Mein Kampf? When he was in prison. You moron. Oh, man. It wasn't a violent coup at all. What's Kristallnacht again? Are you insane? How they got into power in general was explicitly through violence. This guy knows nothing about World War II.
Screaming at a regime propagandist who is harassing and intimidating and doxing people in my community is absolutely nothing close to what the right wing is doing in this country right fucking now.
We're not doxing people in that way, dude. We're not doxing people who didn't break the law. That's the thing. So he's absolutely just full of crap. I can't even watch this guy's full video. Honestly, at this point, I'm just really annoyed with him. He's really stupid. And he's making videos about himself being really stupid with the awareness that he's really stupid. That's just shockingly stupid. The fact that this guy has 100,000 people actually scares me. I was hoping that there wouldn't be that many stupid people. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. I'm blown away by it, but yeah. Maybe I'll make a separate video about this guy, calling him out. He's not a very bright guy, so there is that. I'm going to have to get off here. Let's see. What were you saying here? Antifa worked together with funny mustache. Yeah, exactly. Squid guy clearly didn't read history books. Yeah. He didn't read anything about Nazi Germany. It's a little wild, you know. I feel if you burn the flag, you disrespect everyone from every race and religion who served. I agree. Absolutely, Ed. Yeah, Antifa has been doxing the whole time. Like, constantly. But this guy made the excuse. He didn't even deny that he doxed. He said, is it on the same degree of me doxing everyone in my community? The same as, literally, you know, all these Republicans going after and doxing people who are breaking the law? And it's like, no, I guess that wouldn't be the same. You're doxing innocent people, and they're doxing people inciting violence. So, that's kind of wild, right? Yeah, Tick history is great. Absolutely great. Yeah, Squid Guy's a massive bootlicker for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get you. You're saying you want both sides to stop doxing, but what have they been doing for the past 9 years? Yeah, the left has exclusively been doxing for the past 9 years. And now it's like, if they're not going to stop doxing, then we're going to start. You know, it's unbelievable. They don't hold themselves to the same standard. You know, oh, wait a minute. There we go. Live chat. Okay, cool. I didn't miss anything. It was on top chat for some reason. But, alrighty. Well, anyway, guys, I'm going to have to hop off here. I'll probably do a video about this loser tomorrow. And do a proper one. Get that put out there. I think that'll be great. But anyway, guys, I better get down to dinner. Wife cooked up a good dinner for me, so I better eat that. Thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you guys here in the next one. Later. Oops.